Hello and good afternoon everybody, and welcome back once again for another video of DIY investing. Please do not mind my hair. I look like a mess. I haven't slept very much over the last 24 hours. And so for that, I figured before I take a nap and take a little bit of rest, I wanted to actually talk about a coin that's been recommended to me all over the place constantly. It's probably the only coin that I haven't really talked about for some reason, yet it's one of the more talked about coins out there. In fact, I think that this one, VET, XRP, and potentially maybe like Ethereum are the more talked about coins, but even then it's really been Tezos that's getting a lot more hype than Ethereum recently. And so today the coin on the list is going to be ChainLink. Now you guys have been recommending this to me all over my Discord server, dropping it in the comments section of every video I post. And so today I'm actually going to be diving in and sharing with you guys exactly how much potential I think ChainLink has, which I do see a lot of potential moving forward. Remember guys, if you're new or just finding this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you don't miss any more updates like the one provided for you here. I'm still hosting a pre-sale on my course that's going to run until the end of the new year, January 1st, 2020. I've been busting out a lot of videos for you guys, and I actually plan to start releasing some of the video content a little bit earlier for some of you newer members that are getting involved. The pre-sale is honestly going to be your best bet because this is going to allow you to really figure out exactly my personal trading plan, my personal portfolio, and how I've structured it. On top of that, with 20 plus educational videos that are going to teach you guys all of my specific strategies that I use to profit inside of cryptocurrency. The earlier that you get a part of this, the better, because you guys are not going to want to miss out on all of these long-term gains that I have built over the next couple years, because I think that that's going to be where you find the most value in my signals, because what I like to do is trend trading, and so you want to be able to maximize the fullness of that trend, which means getting in during the bear market. Remember, click the invitation link in the description of this video to get access to my Discord server. My goal is 1,000 members, and we're so close to hitting that. Once we hit 1,000, I'm thinking about pulling invitations, so you make sure that you guys get in there before I do so. With all that being said, guys, let's jump right in the video today. So here we are to start off today's video, taking a look first at Bitcoin, the driver of the value in the market. Now from my last update, really the same thing is to be told, and so I'm not going to get into a ton of detail here. I'm going to save the majority of this video for ChainLink. But what we can see here currently, guys, is roughly the same thing that's been happening. A confirmed downtrend, rejections off of this descending resistance, lower highs and lower lows, all the way back down in this big choppy mess. And now what's happening right now is we're getting chopped up and actually rejecting below resistance. And so this is a bearish signal. In my opinion, this is setting up for a decent drop. I think that we'll be hitting about $6,400 to about $6,200 next. Before we do see a short-term bounce on the upside. Now, realistically, guys, I still believe that we're going to hit back down towards about 5,800 and even potentially down to 53. I can't be certain on any of that, which is why I just have my price targets drawn for you guys. But this is what I've been watching for the last month or so, and I don't think that anything's really changed. The market structure currently, it looks more bearish, like we're gonna for sure get that significant drop very soon. And so you guys should just be wary of that and understand that even though prices have sold off significantly, I am expecting way more of a big drop right here. And I think that this will probably follow something like this. If we pull out my Elliott wave tools, this looks about like a one wave, and then we'll drop maybe down to about 6,300 in the 3, and then we'll have one more final 5-wave impulse back down to about 58 to even 5,300. And so that's how I'm going to be watching for Bitcoin's price structure. Now, you guys know what I'm rocking with targets. I'm not going to get into a ton of detail. Now let's actually dive into ChainLink and show you guys exactly how much potential I think this coin has moving forward. So here we are taking a look at ChainLink. Now ChainLink itself showed a very long accumulation cycle. And if we pull up a date range, we're going to be able to see from the time it was added to the marketplace, from the time it started breaking out, was about 580 days. And really it started getting added to exchanges about right here, and that's really when we saw that big parabolic run inside of ChainLink. Now ChainLink showed a very gradual increase. It held this trend line quite significantly, and then it just kind of kept growing and accumulating from there. Now kind of what I'm seeing, and I'm actually going to dive into an Elliott wave count. For you guys that don't understand Elliott wave theory, I'll quickly just go up here and kind of explain it from a simple demographic, because honestly guys, I like to trade Elliott wave theory, not necessarily all the time. I'm not sitting there mapping out all these Elliott waves throughout every chart that I look at, but I like to see it whenever I'm trying to map out the cycle. And the reason for that is because Elliott wave theory works very, very nicely inside of cryptocurrency markets. Now, Elliott wave theory is just a theory that states that markets behave in 3 sets of impulse waves that are governed by human emotion. Now, obviously, cryptocurrency itself is one of the more emotional cycles and charts that we've ever seen, and it follows Elliott wave theory nicely because we have such big impulses with such parabolic market cycles, and that's really my biggest reason for following Elliott wave analysis and Elliott wave theory. Now, kind of the way it works is Elliott wave theory goes in 3 sets of 3. So within this wave there's 3 sets, and then within this wave there's 3 sets, and so it's 3 sets of 3 for each wave. So 1, 3, and 5, and that would complete our 1 wave, right? Now, I like to use this little demographic to kind of share and explain how I expect the further market cycle to play out. And so this is what we're going to be paying attention to inside of ChainLink. And so let's go through here and actually analyze our Elliott wave count. Now, what it looks like to me is when we got added to the exchanges, this created our 1 wave. Right here would have been our 3, the breakout of that high, and then we went into price discovery out of the 5. And let's actually change this up a tiny bit. So this would have completed our 1 wave, right? So this entire 1, 3, and 5 would coexist right here. 1, 3, and 5, and then that completes the 1 wave, right? Does that make sense to you guys? And so this was wave 1. And then wave 1 came all the way back down, nearly fully retraced. And now we're working on the 3 wave, right? And let's actually change this up a tiny bit. We'll go there. Make it a little bit bigger. And this is going to kind of explain exactly how the cycles are working. So this was our 1 wave. We had our first 1, 3, and 5 impulse waves, and then we retraced all the way back down. Now this would start the 3 wave, right? And remember guys, the 3 wave is the most impulsive wave based off of Elliott wave theory. Now what can happen inside of cryptocurrency is the 5 wave gets overextended and it actually becomes bigger than the 3 and the 1 put together. Sometimes it's roughly the same size as the 3, and sometimes it can even be shorter than all of the other 2 waves combined. It's just the way the Elliott wave theory works, and not all waves are going to be completely identical. But the more symmetrical the Elliott waves, the more the more probable that that chart would be to continue on in its cycle, I should say. Now, with that being said, guys, this would have started our 1 of the 3, and then we had our 1, and then our 3. And so we're only in wave 3 still, and we still have a little bit more upside to go. And in fact, this was the 1. This would have been the 3, and now we're working on one more final 5 wave impulse that will complete the 3 wave. And so let's go in here, change it up a bit so that we're all on the same page. And this is kind of the way that the cycle's looking, guys. We can see here that we had 1, 3, and 5 impulse waves in the 1 wave. We retrace back down, we had 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 5, A, B, C. And so this is really just a 1, 3, and then we'll have one more final 5 wave impulse that I think could potentially take us all the way upwards of about 10 to maybe even $15. And then we should see a little bit of a more prolonged retrace, and then we'll have one more final 5 wave impulse to complete that cycle. And so realistically, guys, I could very easily see ChainLink being valued at anywhere from about $50 to $100, and it could go much higher, guys. And that's the thing about cryptocurrency, and what I just recently told you is it really just depends on what the wave structure looks like. I mean, this wave structure is all very symmetrical, but sometimes what happens inside of cryptocurrency is we have this 1 wave, the 3 wave gets very, very impulsive, very extended, and then the 5 wave almost follows the same size of market structure as the 3 and the 4. And so that's kind of what I'm going to be watching out for here with ChainLink. Now, ChainLink to me is a solid project. In fact, I hear a lot of people talking about it, And it's actually one that I expect to perform and continue to perform very well in this cycle because it's already been outperforming the majority of the altcoin market thus far. I don't think you can really go wrong adding some to a long-term bag and just kind of holding the majority of the trend, because based off of my Elliott wave count, we still have a significant amount of upside to go. And who knows, guys, I could be wrong. I'm not trying to give you guys exact price targets or anything, but this thing could go much higher than even I have drawn right here. You guys know how crypto gets, especially if you've been around the same time frame as I have. I mean, if you were here for 2017, the majority of that trend to see all of these altcoins kind of popping off, you know exactly how impulsive these markets can get. And so for me, guys, I'm actually looking to be adding some to my long-term portfolio. I've yet to actually accumulate any ChainLink. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but I would actually be interested in doing so now that I've kind of got an outlying approach to the market cycle. I now know roughly my Elliott wave count, and I do see a significant amount of upsides still to come. And so with that being said, guys, we just barely started going parabolic. Really, guys, this was the one wave, and then this was just the accumulation phase of that wave, and we just barely broke out of the previous all-time high. And now we're just kind of retesting previous support. And if I draw a horizontal line, you guys will know what I mean here. We can see here that this was the previous all-time high. We broke out from that, and then we kind of retested that zone. And now we're just kind of consolidating outside of that. Now, this to me, guys, is a no-brainer that this one's about to fly very soon. Now, it still could retrace a little bit further. I'm not going to write that off by any means. But what I'm seeing currently is a very underdeveloped market cycle, an undervalued market cycle, I should say. And I do see a significant amount of profit potential still to come. Overall, the volume profile looks really good. We can see that in this retrace, we had declining volume, which was what followed here. And then from this initial rally up from these lows that we saw after the breakout of all-time high, we've had a consistent increase of buy volume all the way up. And so even though price has kind of retraced for the short term, I still expect this one to continue up in its bullish cycle. We just really left the accumulation phase, and that's really the only thing that I can say here. I mean, we can see that we bounced off of this trend line 4 different times, and we consolidated within the previous market cycle, and then we actually just broke out of that. And so this is really the big way that we're about to go into price discovery, and so this is probably going to be the more parabolic part of this trend moving forward. And so even though I have these little short price targets drawn, I'm telling you guys, the 5 of the 3, this wave right here, could get even more overextended than even I'm expecting. We could see something clear up here to $50 to $100 just in that wave alone. You guys know how crazy crypto gets, and if you don't know, I'm telling you right now that it can get very parabolic, especially with such a move like this. Like I said, we just barely broke out of the previous cycle high. I mean, if we go back and take a look at XRP, just to use a brief example real quick, I'll show you guys kind of what happened with XRP after we broke out of the previous market cycle, because it was very parabolic in what followed. Now, I'm not saying that ChainLink's going to completely follow XRP, but we can see here that we broke out of the all-time high of the last cycle, and I'm not even going to count that one. We're only going to be taking a look at this one. We broke out of the previous high of that last cycle right about here, and we can see we broke out, retested it, and then that's what really sent us into that real parabolic run. And so with ChainLink, we just roughly did the exact same thing. And if I drop it to a bigger time frame, you'll kind of be able to see that. Let's do it to a monthly time frame. This was the previous cycle. We broke out from that, and now we're just retesting the previous high. And so this is really what's going to set us up for that new price discovery. And I think this is about to get very, very parabolic. I mean, overall, we're having significantly more buy volume coming in here on virtually every time frame. And so to me, that's a no-brainer that this one's a solid investment for the long term. Remember, guys, I'm more of a long-term analyst as is. I don't really like to mess around a whole lot with shorter-term trades. I do when it's full-blown bull run season, when altcoins are just popping off across the board, because at that point it's like shooting fish in the barrel. It's really easy to follow along. It's not hard. There's many market cycles that are playing out because I am a market cycle trader. I like to look for these market cycles, and until the real bull run starts with altcoins popping off, generally speaking, they're all just in a downtrend. I mean, even XRP, which has been a top 5 market cap coin, has really not even made a higher high yet this entire time. And I mean, even though some other altcoins have, for the most part, this isn't a very major bull run for the alt. It's been really slow, kind of a gradual technical buildup, but what's going to come is a very big price explosion. And so for me, I'm going to wait for that big price explosion before I start trying to day trade a whole lot, because right now I'm just looking to accumulate my long-term bags. And that's my most important aspect right now, because the majority of traders, especially one like in my situation, where I really don't care to day trade a whole lot because it's more stressful to me than anything. I don't like to sit at my computer. I don't like to have to just be here all the time looking at stuff. It's just not that fun for me personally. What I like to do is I like to do analysis for the sake of just my channel, my subscribers, anybody that follows me on Discord, and I like to just kind of do it for my own fun, because at the end of the day, guys, I look at technical analysis like an art form. It's just a different sort of art form that helps you to kind of predict price and just helps to kind of see how the market is going to move. And so for me, I would rather wait to do day trading when the markets are all really bullish and everything is going up, because right now the best thing I'm going to be able to do for myself is accumulate my long-term bags. And so looking here at ChainLink, I'm actually going to be looking to add to my long-term position here. With us just barely breaking out of that all-time high, I'm seeing a significant amount of upside still to come with this project. And so this is really just my analysis that I had for you guys. I wanted to talk about ChainLink because it's been recommended to me a lot in my Discord server. So remember, if you guys ever have any recommendations of altcoins, get a hold of me on Discord, drop a comment under this YouTube channel, or get a hold of me through under the other means. I have Twitter, I have email, I have a number of these different platforms that you guys can reach me at, and so I'm more than happy to do these analysis for you guys, because at the end of the day, I want to just do my best to possibly keep you guys in the loop of all things, know exactly what I'm thinking with my analysis, because I want us to all profit together. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more videos like the one provided for you here. To access my Discord server, click the invitation link in the description of this video, and there you're going to get full access. Now remember, I'm still launching my pre-sale, and so everything on my course and signals is 50% off until the new year. So make sure that you guys jump on that opportunity while it's still here. You're not going to want to miss out on this big cycle that's to come. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in today. I will catch you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.